Worrett was a little fretful. "It's always cooler on a farm. There's more room for the wind and, everything's pleasanter. You can't think how tired I am of this hot house. Won't you ask Papa if we may go, Katy?" "Why, of course I will, if you wish it so much." Dr. Carr looked doubtful when the plan was proposed to him. "It's too hot," he said. "I don't believe the girls will like it." "Oh, yes, we will, Papa, indeed we will," pleaded Elsie and John, who had lingered near the door to learn the fate of their request. Dr. Carr smiled at the imploring faces, but he looked a little quizzical. "Very well," he said. "You may go. Mr. Worrett is coming into town tomorrow on some bank business. I'll send word by him, and in the afternoon, when it is cooler, Alexander can drive you out." "Goody! Goody!" cried John, jumping up and down, while Elsie put her arms round Papa's neck and gave him a hug. All being settled, the children began to get ready. It was quite an excitement packing the bags and deciding what to take and what not to take. Elsie grew bright and gay with the bustle. Just to think of being in the country, the cool, green country, made her perfectly happy, she declared. The truth was, she was a little feverish and not quite well, and didn't know exactly how she felt or what she wanted. The drive out was pleasant. Part of the way the road ran through woods. They were rather boggy woods, but the dense shade kept off the sun, and there was a spicy smell of evergreens and sweet fern. Elsie felt that the good time had fairly begun, and her spirits rose with every turn of the wheels. By and by they left the woods and came out again into the sunshine. The road was dusty, and so were the fields, and the ragged sheaves of corn stalks, which dotted them here and there, looked dusty too. "I want a drink of water awfully," said John. "Do you suppose it's much farther? How long will it be before we get to Mrs. Worrett's, Alexander?" "Most there, miss," replied Alexander laconically. Elsie put her head out of the carriage and looked eagerly round. Where was the delightful farm? She saw a big pumpkin-colored house by the roadside, a little farther on, but surely that couldn't be it. Yes. Alexander drew up at the gate and jumped down to lift them out. It really was. She looked about. There were the woods, to be sure, but half a mile away across the fields. Near the house there were no trees at all, only some lilac bushes at one side. There was no green grass either. Elsie's heart sank indescribably as she and John got very slowly out of the carryall. John's eyes grew wide with wonder, but there was no time to say anything, for they had turned the corner of the house, and there was Mrs. Worrett waiting at the kitchen door to receive them. She looked fatter than ever, Elsie thought, but she kissed them both and said she was real glad to see a Carr in her house at last. "How's your pa, Elsie? And Katy, not laid up again, I hope?" "Oh, no, she seems to get better all the time." Elsie went to the door and watched Alexander driving away down the dusty road. She felt as if their last friend had deserted them. Then she and Johnny followed the maid upstairs. Mrs. Worrett never mounted in hot weather, she told them. The spare chamber was just under the roof. It was very hot, and smelt as if the windows had never been opened since the house was built. It was plainly furnished, but very nice and neat. "What a high bed!" exclaimed John. "Elsie, you'll have to climb on a chair to get into it, and so shall I." Elsie felt it. "Feathers!" she cried in a tone of horror. "Oh, John, why did we come? What shall we do?" "I guess we shan't mind it much," replied John, who was perfectly well and considered these little variations on home habits rather as fun than otherwise. But Elsie gave a groan. 2 nights on a feather bed. How should she bear it? Tea was ready in the kitchen when they went downstairs. The room felt stiflingly warm, and the butter was so nearly melted that Mrs. Worrett had to help it.